What if I told you the size of your income is not what determines your future, but what you do with it is? Most people spend their lives chasing bigger paychecks, believing that wealth begins when they finally earn enough. But what if that belief is the very thing keeping you stuck? Right now, somewhere in the world, there are people earning less than you, yet quietly building fortunes, not through luck, not through shortcuts, but through strategy, through discipline, through a mindset shift that changes everything. In this video, you're going to discover how small earnings, yes, even what you make today, can become the foundation of massive wealth. You'll learn the exact principles that separate those who struggle financially from those who achieve true financial freedom. These are not theories. These are proven lessons inspired by the strategies of Tony Robbins and the world's top wealth builders. So if you're tired of feeling like you're not earning enough, if you want to break free from the cycle and finally make your money work for you, watch this video until the very end, because one idea here could change your financial future forever. Lesson 1. Master the money mindset. The foundation of all financial achievement is rooted firmly in the psychological soil of the individual. Wealth is not merely a numerical value reflected in a digital ledger. It is a manifestation of an internal philosophy that dictates how one perceives value, risk, and opportunity. To master the money mindset, you must first acknowledge that your current financial reality is often a lagging indicator of your past thoughts and habits. If you harbor a scarcity mindset, you will perpetually view the world through a lens of limitation, seeing every expense as a threat and every missed opportunity as a personal failure. However, by shifting toward an abundance mindset, you begin to recognize that capital is a fluid resource that responds to utility and strategy. You must stop viewing money as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something you direct with intentionality. A crucial component of this mental shift is the transition from short-term gratification to long-term vision. Most people are governed by their immediate desires, seeking the dopamine hit of a new purchase to mask the anxiety of financial instability. The wealthy, conversely, are masters of delayed gratification. They understand that a dollar today is not just a dollar, it is the seed of a future forest. When you look at a small sum of money, do not see its purchasing power for a temporary luxury. Instead, calculate its potential value after a decade of compound growth. By reframing your perception of currency from a medium of consumption to a tool for construction, you fundamentally change your behavior. You begin to ask, how can this capital serve me, rather than what can I buy with this? Eliminating the language of I can't afford it is another vital exercise in cognitive restructuring. When you tell yourself you cannot afford something, your brain effectively shuts down, accepting a state of helplessness. This passive acceptance reinforces a cycle of stagnation. Instead, successful individuals ask, how can I afford it? This subtle shift in syntax transforms a dead-end statement into a creative problem-solving mission. It forces you to look for new income streams, negotiate better terms, or reallocate existing resources. It moves you from the passenger seat of your life into the driver's seat. This proactive stance is what separates the creators of wealth from the mere observers of it, ensuring that you are always looking for ways to expand your capacity, rather than shrinking your dreams to fit your current circumstances. Finally, you must deconstruct the societal myths surrounding wealth that may be subconsciously holding you back. Many are raised with the notion that money is inherently tied to greed, or that it is a zero-sum game where one person's gain is another's loss. In reality, wealth in a free market is often the byproduct of providing immense value to others. By viewing money as a scoreboard for the problems you have solved or the service you have provided, you remove the moral guilt that often sabotages financial growth. Master your mind and the mechanics of money will follow. You cannot build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. Likewise, you cannot build a fortune on a foundation of self-limiting beliefs and financial fear. Lesson 2. Pay yourself first. The concept of paying yourself first is perhaps the most fundamental rule of personal finance, yet it remains the most frequently ignored. Most individuals follow a linear path of consumption. They receive their paycheck, pay their rent or mortgage, cover their utilities, buy groceries, and then look at what remains for their savings. Predictably, in a world designed to separate you from your money, there is rarely anything left. This bottom-of-the-barrel approach to saving is a recipe for lifelong servitude. To break this cycle, you must invert the equation. You must treat your future self as your most important creditor. Before a single cent goes to the landlord, the credit card company, or the grocery store, a predetermined percentage must be diverted into your investment or savings vehicles. This habit is not about the specific dollar amount, especially in the beginning. It is about the neurological wiring of the habit itself. Even if you can only afford to save $5 a week, the act of doing so establishes a psychological boundary. It reinforces the idea that you are the priority in your financial life. When you automate this process, setting up a direct transfer that occurs the moment your income hits your account, you remove the element of human willpower from the equation. Willpower is a finite resource that often fails us at the end of a long day or a stressful week. By making your savings non-negotiable and invisible, you adapt your lifestyle to the remaining balance. It is a remarkable quirk of human nature that we tend to survive on whatever is left in our wallets, whether that is 90% or 100% of our income. By paying yourself first, you are essentially buying your freedom in small incremental installments. Every dollar saved is a freedom fighter that goes to work for you. In contrast, every dollar spent on a depreciating asset is a missed opportunity for autonomy. Over time, this discipline creates a psychological safety net that allows you to make bolder career moves and more confident life choices. You are no longer living in a state of survival mode where one unexpected car repair or medical bill could derail your entire life. Instead, you are building a fortress. This financial buffer changes your energy. You stop acting out of desperation and start acting out of strategy because you know you have the capital to back up your decisions. Furthermore, paying yourself first forces a healthy level of frugality and creativity. When you have less disposable income because a chunk has been safely tucked away, you are forced to prioritize what actually brings value to your life. You begin to trim the fat from your expenses, not because you have to, but because you are committed to a higher goal. This discipline builds a level of character that is essential for managing larger sums of money later in life. If you cannot manage $10, you will certainly not be able to manage 10 million. The habit of paying yourself first is the litmus test for financial maturity, proving that you have the foresight to care for the person you will become tomorrow more than the impulses you feel today. Lesson 3. Make your money work for you. The shift from being a laborer for money to being a manager of capital is the definitive turning point in any journey toward true wealth. Most people are caught in a time for money trap where their income is strictly capped by the number of hours they can physically work. This is a fragile and finite model. Should you fall ill, lose your job, or simply burn out, your income ceases immediately. To achieve true financial independence, you must decouple your income from your time. You must learn to employ your dollars as workers. While you sleep, eat, and vacation, your capital should be actively participating in the global economy, generating interest, dividends, or capital gains. This is the essence of making your money work for you. Understanding the power of assets is central to this lesson. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket, whereas a liability is something that takes money out. The middle class often confuses the two, purchasing large homes and expensive cars that they call investments, but which actually drain their cash flow every month. True wealth builders focus on acquiring productive assets, stocks that pay dividends, real estate that generates rental income, or businesses that can operate without their daily involvement. Even in the modern era, this includes digital assets like intellectual property, automated online stores, or content that earns royalties. The goal is to create an ecosystem of income streams that eventually surpass your cost of living, rendering your active labor optional. The most powerful tool in this endeavor is the phenomenon of compound interest, which Albert Einstein famously dubbed the eighth wonder of the world. Compounding is the process where your earnings begin to earn their own earnings. In the early stages, the growth feels agonizingly slow and it is easy to become discouraged. However, given enough time, the curve turns sharply upward and the gains become exponential. A small investment made in your 20s can grow into a staggering sum by your 50s, not because of your brilliance, but because of the relentless math of time and reinvestment. Every time you spend your principal or your interest prematurely, you are effectively murdering the golden goose before it has a chance to lay its eggs. Investing does not require a massive windfall to begin. It requires consistency and a willingness to learn. Many stay on the sidelines waiting for the perfect market conditions or a larger sum of capital, but the cost of waiting is often higher than the risk of starting. With the advent of fractional shares and low-cost index funds, the barriers to entry have never been lower. The true risk is not in the volatility of the stock market, but in the certainty of inflation eroding the value of cash sitting under a mattress. By putting your money to work, you are protecting your future purchasing power and ensuring that you are a beneficiary of human progress rather than a victim of economic shifts. Your money is a tireless worker. It doesn't need breaks, it doesn't get sick, and it can work 24 hours a day if you give it the right direction. Lesson 4. Control lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation, often called lifestyle creep, is the silent killer of financial dreams. It occurs when an increase in income is immediately met by an equivalent increase in spending. You get a promotion, so you buy a nicer car. You get a bonus, so you move into a more expensive apartment. On paper, you are earning more, but your net worth remains stagnant. This phenomenon keeps high earners in the same rat race as those making minimum wage, living paycheck to paycheck despite a six-figure salary. To build wealth, you must have the discipline to maintain a gap between your earnings and your lifestyle. The wider that gap, the faster your wealth accumulates. Controlling this inflation requires a conscious rejection of the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. The pressure to signal status is one of the most expensive social taxes an individual can pay. We live in a culture that celebrates the appearance of wealth over the actual possession of it. People go into debt to buy designer goods and luxury vehicles to impress people they don't even like. However, true wealth is what you don't see. It is the money not spent, the cars not bought, and the flashy watches left in the store. When you choose to live below your means, you are making a profound statement about your priorities. You are choosing freedom over finery. You are choosing the peace of mind that comes with a robust brokerage account over the fleeting thrill of a new toy. This requires a level of self-assurance that does not rely on external validation. One of the most effective strategies for combating lifestyle inflation is the half rule. When you receive a raise or a windfall, commit to saving or investing at least 50% of the increase. This allows you to enjoy a slight improvement in your standard of living, rewarding your hard work while ensuring that the majority of your new income goes toward building your future. By doing this, you avoid the trap of becoming a slave to your expenses. If your lifestyle is always at the limit of your income, you have no room for error and no room for opportunity. A lean lifestyle provides the agility needed to take risks such as starting a business or investing in a downturn that those burdened by high overhead cannot afford to take. Ultimately, controlling your spending is about reclaiming your time. Every time you increase your fixed costs, you are committing yourself to more years of work to sustain those costs. If you can be happy with a modest lifestyle, you need much less capital to be retired or financially independent. Happiness is often found in the quality of our experiences and the depth of our relationships, neither of which require a massive monthly burn rate. By mastering your desires and keeping your expenses in check, you become the master of your money. You learn that wealth is not about how much you make, but how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. The person who earns $50,000 and saves $10,000 is far wealthier than the person who earns $250,000 and saves nothing. Lesson 5. Stay consistent and patient. In a world of instant gratification and get-rich-quick schemes, the virtues of consistency and patience have become rare and therefore incredibly valuable. Wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. It is the result of thousands of small, seemingly insignificant decisions made over the course of decades. Most people fail not because they lack a good plan, but because they lack the temperament to stick with it when the excitement wears off. The boring middle phase of wealth building, where you are working, saving, and investing without seeing dramatic changes, is where most people quit. However, this is precisely where the foundation is being laid for a massive future breakout. You must fall in love with the process, not just the prize. Patience is the ultimate edge in the financial markets. The history of wealth is littered with stories of people who tried to time the market or chase the latest speculative bubble only to lose everything. Meanwhile, those who simply stayed the course, reinvesting their dividends and ignoring the daily noise of the news cycle, ended up as millionaires. You must develop a long-term horizon that spans decades, not weeks. When you have a long-term perspective, a market crash is not a tragedy, it is a sale. A slow year is not a failure, it is just a blip on a much larger chart. This emotional stability allows you to stay invested when others are panicking, which is often when the greatest wealth is created. Consistency is the engine that drives the vehicle of patience. It is the act of showing up every single month regardless of how you feel or what the headlines say. It is the discipline of dollar-cost averaging, where you buy into the market at various price points, ensuring that you are always moving forward. Small actions, when compounded by time, produce results that seem like magic to the uninitiated. If you save just a few $100s a month consistently for 30 years, the math is staggering. The difficulty lies in the fact that human beings are biologically wired for the present. We are hunters and gatherers who prioritize the immediate meal. Overriding this biological impulse with a consistent logical plan is the mark of a sophisticated wealth builder. Finally, you must trust the process and ignore the sudden success of others. Often what looks like an overnight success was actually 10 years in the making. Comparison is the thief of joy and the enemy of financial discipline. Your journey is your own, and your only competition is the person you were yesterday. If you stay patient and consistent, you will eventually reach a tipping point where the growth of your assets begins to outpace your savings and then your income. This is the moment of escape velocity, where wealth becomes self-sustaining. But you will never reach that point if you stop halfway. Stay the course, keep your eyes on the horizon, and let time do the heavy lifting for you. The rewards of financial freedom are worth every year of waiting and every ounce of discipline. Here's the truth: you don't need a massive income to build massive wealth. You need the right habits, the right mindset, and the discipline to stay consistent. Small earnings are not your weakness, they are your starting point. Every wealthy person began somewhere. The difference is they didn't wait, they didn't make excuses. They took control of what they had and multiplied it. Imagine your life 5 years from now if you applied these lessons starting today. Imagine looking back and realizing that what once felt small became the foundation of something extraordinary. That's the power of consistency. That's the power of strategy. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to start. Start saving, start investing, start thinking differently about money, because once you change your relationship with money, everything else begins to change with it. So take that first step today, because your future wealth isn't built on what you earn tomorrow, it's built on what you do right now.